Welcome to Let's Playing The Binding of Isaac, our second dive. Maybe I'll get further this time. Playing as Cain once more, and restarting in the main room. Hoping the frame rate holds up. Apparently Fraps does not like The Binding of Isaac. I'm not quite sure why. Enemies can't actually break through the shit piles. This is kind of important because it lets you, on certain rooms, like I am now, deal with them at your own discretion. It should also be noted that your tears have a slight knockback effect. This is very helpful on certain enemy types, certain bosses, that type of thing. On these enemies, if you aim for the head will pop off, but you also have to deal with the body. If you hit the body, on the other hand, the entire thing will go up. And on these floating heads, these are the stationary ones. You can be a little bit clever with it and get just in range, fire off a shot, and pull back. Like mini-games that use the shooter mechanic, with The Binding of Isaac, if you actually run into the shot, because of the way acceleration of these works, and you'll see it right here, you can get multiple hits to hit it once before you veer off. It can be very useful for when you're fighting a fast-moving boss or trying to get close to something and not get hit. Right now we're looking for bombs because there was that chest back in that room in the lower right that I'd really like to access. Speaking of, not one of my favorite power-ups. Boom is useful, but just 10 bombs feels kind of like a waste. There are a lot of items I'd rather have. There are, you know, extra shot upgrades, things like that. They would be a lot more helpful right now. Pills. Range up, definitely helpful. Means our shots go further before they start to succumb to gravity. Let's see, who are we facing? Gemini, of course. Now, when I fight Gemini, you're often going to see me going towards the big brother first. I find the little brother just extremely easy to fight. A lot of fighting him is just kiting him. And in this game, speed makes it very easy to do that. Besides, big brother doesn't really fight back. Now, I could be using bombs. One nice thing about bombs is that, like in Bomberman, they do have a presence. Enemies can't simply walk over them. So one thing you can do is in a corner, like the one I just passed through, you can actually drop a bomb and just force Gemini to stand on it. And he'll, of course, take the hit and damage. Also, there's that knockback effect I was talking about. Keeping him off me. Dog food. Dinner. Yum. Shows you how screwed up this game is. I could use a bomb. It would do massive damage to Gemini, but it would also be a waste of a bomb. While we do have 8 bombs to play with, I'd rather have as many as possible. One cool thing about fire is that on many enemy types, fire does hurt them too. You just saw that with these crying guys. There's one enemy type, however, that you never want to see get near fire, and those are the jumping headless bodies. When they get close to fire, they don't get hurt. They just catch on fire and do more damage to you. Having some frame rate issues, as I said. Fraps does not like Binding of Isaac. Slimes are easy. They just shoot in a diagonal pattern. These particular bodies are, apart from when you get caught like I just did, pretty easy to kite. You shouldn't have any problem at all keeping away from them as you move through the terrain. But when there are multiples of them, the AI pathfinding is pretty nice, actually. So, and the fly guys are probably going to get themselves all killed before I even get done with these flies. AI pathfinding is pretty nice, so you will often find the AI cornering you. In the lower left, you'll see a hornet. Those ones actually shoot back, but I have to get rid of what's blocking us before he'll actually do so. So now we know where the boss is, and if I had to make a guess, I'd say the secret room is going to be right here. But I'm wrong. Remember, as I said, there's an entry into the secret room from every room surrounding it. So as long as we know it's not there, we know it's in none of the rooms around that either. Now there is an arena room right there, but I currently have no easy out button. And arena rooms cannot be accessed if you don't have full health, so I can't even go there anyways. So instead, I'll get myself an upgrade and see where we go from there. My favorite strategy for dealing with stationary turret enemies is to just dodge back and forth. They always shoot for where you were, not where you are. And given that you have rapid shot capabilities, no real worries. The belt makes you move faster, which can be a blessing or a curse, depending on how fast you're actually moving. Remember, you can hit the escape key to go into the menu. It'll tell you what your current stats are. If you hit escape twice, it'll think you're trying to quit. And when you try to quit, it'll ask, "Are you sure you want me to die?" "No, Isaac, we won't cause you to die." Now, we don't have nearly enough life to go into there. Let's see if there's a secret room over here. Yep. Found it. Slot machine. Very nice. Let's see what we can get. Slot machine does have some nice non-jackpot payouts. I believe that Kane's Lucky Foot also has some effect on the slot machine, though I'm not entirely sure about that. Trying to get either a power-up, that's not one, or the jackpot. Jackpot would be useful for just random buying, and power-ups are just generally useful. No luck. I'm gonna make a very stupid choice here and just blow up the slot machine. If I were to get more money later, the slot machine could be useful. I don't think that's going to really happen on this level. Okay, let's see what we get. Lots of bombs. Our first wave is easy, just a bunch of flies, and flies are extremely easy to kite. They bunch together, and they don't have as good friction as other enemy types. Hornets are not my favorite, but they are better than other things we could have gotten, so count ourselves lucky and move on. And the eyeless kids, again, not as bad as it could have been. Okay. Got some more blobs. Blobs always shoot in diagonals as far as I've seen, so you're pretty safe here as long as you stay next to them. And we know where the boss is. We know where the shop is, and we also know where the free upgrade room is. We've been to all of them. What I was hoping to show you guys is a mini-boss. But I have very little money right now, and I also have very little keys, and I'd like to keep those, so we're just going to go for the boss. Ah, Monstro. Monstro is one of the easier bosses. He has a very predictable pattern. He only has really 2 real, well, maybe 3 real moves. One is to cough blood at you, which is what he's spamming at me right now, and honestly, that's just easy to dodge. His movement attack, easy to dodge as well. And the last one is the one he just did. When he jumps up like that, he's going to go to wherever you were when he jumped. So as long as you keep moving, pretty easy to dodge. Now the way the game's designed, when there's blood bullets coming at you, if you shoot them, you can actually counter them. But given that there's so many blood bullets, you don't want to really rely on that. It's better to keep moving. But against enemies like the turrets, if they shoot multiple bullets, or the boss we faced last time. Oh, this is... okay. I'm not sure I want to go in here. The door that just opened only seems to open if you beat a boss. It's random, and it's rare. If you go in here, you may sacrifice a number of hearts to pay for an item. Now, the one on the left I know the cat. The cat is your dead cat, and what it does is, in exchange for permanently having only 1 heart, you actually have 9 lives. Every time you die, you will be deposited outside of the room you died in with a heart again. There are other items that have this effect. The one on the right, I believe, is the blood contract, which I never used. Thing is, it literally means you're paying in hearts. You do not get them back. But hell, we're gonna try it anyways. Ooh, the Pact. Damage up, which in this case seems to be an upgraded, it looks like upgraded shot rate. If I had 2 more hearts to give, I would take the cat too, because once I leave, I can't come back in. The major problem with doing that is if I try to do it now, I would die instantly, because I don't have 2 hearts. But, as you can see, the increased shot rate is actually very worth it. A lot of stuff over the pit that I can't cross, so we move on. These particular flies are the binding of 2 flies. Killing 1 spawns another 2 regular flies. So what you need to do is exactly what I am not doing. That is, kill individual flies before you move on. Remember, it's the Teleport Tarot card. These are the moving turret heads. They chase you around, but if you kite them enough, they're not incredibly hard. These guys with the red skulls are standard turrets. They'll shoot a 5-shot spread. These ones, the ones with the red skulls, are very vulnerable to being shot. The ones with the white skulls, however, are invulnerable as long as they are down, as this one, you see them right now. The other thing with the white skulls is that if they're... ooh, helpful. The lovers... okay, first, before we do that, we are facing one of the 7 deadly sins. Pride is a troll, literally. If you look, he's got a troll face. He will drop multiple bombs every so often, and then he also has that diagonal attack. It is, however, very easy to dodge. You don't really have to worry about him too much. It's his bombs that are the problem. That was actually the first time I've ever been hit by him. Okay, the Hermit is a little bit more helpful, but I don't have the money to use it. The lovers will drop 2 hearts for you at any time, so good if you're fighting a boss. Ah, crap, I don't want to be in this room. Remember, red flies are suicide bullets. And they can I believe, set each other off, and you just do not want to turn this into a miniature game of bullet hell. The Hermit, if I remember correctly, sends you directly to the, darn it. Let's just use the levers. The Hermit sends you directly to the Merchant, and these maggots don't do anything. There's just a lot of them, and they soak some damage. The Hermit takes you directly to the Merchant, but given that I have only 5 copper coins, it's almost not worth doing. And I really... yeah, I'll take the Fool. So we can go in, take whatever this is, and leave immediately. What was that? Oh, right. That's the one I can't check, and I don't feel like going back for the Hermit right now. For the 7 deadly sins, by the way, there are 7 of them. They're all unique. They all act in their own interesting ways. If you beat all of them, you will get achievements. Speaking of achievements, there's a lot of them. And some specific ones you get... ah, great, bomb flies. This is exactly what I don't want to see with only 1 health. Because if I chain react them and they're all standing next to each other, it's an instant death for me. So I'm trying to get them to blow each other up, just like that, as far away from me as possible. Let's go get our free power-up. The Hourglass. Spacebar use slows every enemy in the area. Not the best possible one-time use, but very useful for us. Let's see what's up here. Great. I'm actually going to use that right now. Now, it doesn't last forever, so you want to make sure to get your kills in quick. See, it just wore off. Now, I'm just going to use a bomb and let's see. No, never mind, I don't have that power. Okay, of our options here, we got Shadow Hearts, which I do need. The map, I don't have the money for, but the map is very useful. It will actually show you completely where every single item and enemy and room, well, not enemy, but it shows you every item room, it shows you every heart, it shows you everything. It just reveals everything on the map for the entire dive. Very helpful. And you may notice about the one-time... ah, great. It's Gertie again. See, Gertie making tumors. And flies, but mostly tumors. Tumors are a little bit more worrying than the flies right now. Okay. Now we're staying on top of him. Is also, if you notice the color, he's a darker Gertie, so he's a more powerful than normal Gertie. Now, what I was about to talk about, that one-time use item, if you'll notice the bars next to it. One-time use items, you don't get them once per room. Every room you successfully complete will give you a certain amount of bars of the item, and as soon as you fill it up, you get to use it again. So far, Gertie has been not such a pain in the ass. What I'm trying to avoid, though, is some of his ads. That's why I keep on dodging and missing these freaking tumors. Because those hornets can easily kill me, but these tumors can do so just as easily. Man, Gertie's spawning a lot of flies. Which is okay, flies are easy to kill. Tumors are also easy to kill. Okay. The milk is a health boost. And now, so armed, now we're gonna go and, oh no, we already did that, that's right. I'm not gonna go back to the arena room if I don't have to. Let's go down to Caves 2. You may have noticed that now we have a lot more enemies than we did upstairs. Deeper you go, harder things get. And the frame rate really starting to hurt. Because I can't dodge things the way I should be able to, so I might have to figure out how to get frame rate to work a little bit better before I do part 3. Luckily, though, he's going to be doing quite fine here. I must say, that's a particular spawn type I hate, where all the items are in the center of the room. I don't have a way to get to them. This spawn type I'm actually a bit of a fan of, simply because the enemies are in the corners of the room, and if you have the range, it's pretty easy to take them out. That rock formation you see on the side is also particularly useful. It lets you hide behind it if you are trying to take out multiple enemies that are a little bit harder than normal. Gonna dodge the arena for now. Ah, crap. Okay, jumping bodies. Make sure to take care of any forms of fire, and then just keep moving. Do not stand still, and keep in mind their range. They can move pretty freaking far, and you want to make sure you don't do what I just did, which is just slide yourself right into them. Apparently they function kind of weird on the hourglass. Okay. Now, you know what? I don't think I found the secret room on the last floor. Hey look, it's Forever Alone Dead Guy. Probably should have left via another exit. This room should be easier than I made it. And that, folks, is dive number 2, which I completely failed at. Well, I'll see you guys next time.